It's easy in the afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, we have the celebrity sitting in, and I am so happy to and honored to welcome my special guest, Mr. Brian Culbertson. Brian, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks. Yeah, good to be here. How
Hey,
you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays to you too. I appreciate you
Yes,
and your time. Just a
sure.
couple of quick questions I wanted to throw at you for the fans.
Yeah.
When the pandemic started, you had this thing called the hang. Man,
hmm
I tune in each and every Friday. If I'm unable, I catch the rebroadcast. But
Wow, cool.
since that's been started, I was totally blown away at the response and the people that showed up at the St. Louis concert that's a part of the hang. How did
Yeah.
that get started? What has the response been since the pandemic?
Well, it's interesting because once Facebook allowed you to go use Facebook Live, which was, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago now, I would just randomly go live on a Friday night if I were in the studio, which was actually pretty rare. I was constantly touring and doing this and that. So I would call it a Friday night studio hang
Hmm.
whenever I would go live, just with my iPhone. And then forward a few years to March 2020. We'll never forget that. Everything shut down. All
Right.
concerts canceled, yada yada yada. And I was like, oh. I had 70 dates on the books, like
Wow.
4 months on a bus tour, trying to promote that record that came out right then, which was my 20 album. And so I told myself I better just stream every Friday night now that I am home.
Hmm.
And then, after about 2 weeks of doing that just with my phone, I was annoyed because you couldn't get really good quality audio and high end graphics and video going just with a phone. So I started researching, how do you stream you can Google, how do you stream like a pro. So I was doing that for about a month. I was like, freaking out. I was like, oh my God, the learning curve was crazy. So I was just reading and watching tutorials and buying all this gear. And, about a month later, I kind of debuted the show as it is now. And,
Hmm.
every week trying to make it a little bit better. And it's been a lot of fun. And the fans, they absolutely love it. And, because I try to produce it like an hour-long TV show in
Right.
essence.
Right.
You know.
Right, right. I was surprised that you started when we finally went back on tour. I was surprised that
Yeah,
you actually kept it going, and the response was incredible, especially when you were doing some of the concerts.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I figure, hey, I got all the gear. We know the technology. We have a loyal fan base that is watching every week. Why stop it?
Right, right, right,
Yeah, I'm going on tour here and there, but honestly, this past year and a half has kind of changed my mindset on touring, where I've decided, instead of just constantly in and out, boom, 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 everywhere, I'm doing I call it little bursts
right,
of shows, where I'll do 10 shows straight, back to back every night,
right, right,
in and out,
right,
as opposed to every weekend rolling out,
right.
which was exhausting.
Right,
So
right. So, in your
that's cool.
concert here in St. Louis, okay, you blew me away with playing the piano like upside down.
Sure, yeah.
And the band, the energy was just awesome.
Mm.
Who does your choreography, or do you guys just get together and make up something? How does that come about?
It's definitely a collaboration with me and all the guys. Marcus Anderson being in the band has been a really cool thing. Because he has a dancing background. He's actually studied dance, so he's got some moves.
Right, right,
And everybody, in essence, I want people in the group that have a natural sense of movement and staging. And so, a lot of it is just naturally happens off the cuff. Some of it happens one night on a show and I say, hey, that was cool. Do
right,
that again,
right, right,
And
right.
then other things that I've just had in my back pocket for years. We just kind of keep going.
Mhm.
And so it's really a living breathing, changing thing, the choreography, which is fun.
Okay. So your new concept that you have out now, the Trilogy, the Red Album.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that's let me keep it rated G. Me and my girlfriend, we listen to that every night before we go to sleep.
Hello.
That album is off the chain, man. I love it. But how did you come up with this trilogy? And you got the Blue coming out, which tell everybody when that's coming out, and then the third of this trilogy.
Yeah, so back it up a little bit. I started writing new music, I guess it was about a year ago, and I didn't really have any concept in mind. You know, I wasn't thinking trilogy at all. I was just, hey, let me write some new music. And I was writing new music on my streaming shows. Live in front of fans, you know, getting this live feedback of what people like, what you may not like. And I'm trying to read the chat while I'm writing new songs. It was total trip, you know, something I had never done. And I don't think anybody has really done that. However, you know, quickly I had all these songs that were coming together fast. And I realized early on, they were kind of falling into three emotional categories. And I talked about this a little bit on the concert. But they all sounded like the same album, but, you know, there was a set of songs that sounded like you just said, hey, you know, play that when you need to get some things going on. If you know what I'm saying? That's part one. Part two was more, you know, in the, you know, more sad, melancholy, introspective, thinking about life, all that good stuff. And then part three, or part two is coming out January 14th, by the way. So middle of January. And then part three is the uplifting, hopeful, happy ending kind of thing. That's coming out in May, early May.
I am looking forward to those coming out, man. I'm definitely gonna get those. Hey, we are talking to Brian Culbertson. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna drop one of my favorites from the Red CD in this trilogy, and this one is "Feel the Love."
Hey, this is Brian Culbertson, and you're listening to Easy in the Afternoon right here on WSIE 88.7, The Sound.
We're back with Brian Culbertson on Easy in the Afternoon, 88.7 The Sound. So, Brian, you have collaborated with a lot of people. My personal favorite is the one that you did with Bootsy Collins, the Funketeer himself. That is like that. That's like totally plays in my, you know, iPod over and over. But other than those that you've collaborated with, is there anybody that you're dying to collaborate with that you just can't wait to get with?
You know, people do ask me that a lot, and it's a great question. I have been really lucky to have been you know, able to work with so many greats, you know, from you know, Maurice White, God rest his soul, and so many others. You know, I don't know. I have like some dream wishes that are probably never going to come true. I always tell people, I'm going to write a song and it's going to feature both Sade and Sting on the same song.
Ooh.
Could you imagine?
Ooh, that would be interesting. Okay, you got to make that one happen.
So I have those like crazy ones, but then other ones are like, okay, this may happen. I think it'd be cool to, you know, work with, oh geez, I mean, so many. Where do I start?
Well, let me ask you: would you ever entertain maybe something with Stevie Wonder or, you know, somebody like that?
Well, absolutely. You know, I have I've jammed with Stevie a few times. He even surprised me on stage one night. Have you seen that video?
Oh, you know what? I did not get a chance to see that video, but my girlfriend told me about it, and that's it. That's on my playlist to watch tonight.
Yeah, I was doing a Valentine's Day concert in Long Beach, California, and I was playing one of my songs, and all of a sudden the audience stands up, freaks out, gets their phones going, and I'm like, wow. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I must be really killing this song, right? You know? whatever. And then I look out the corner of my eye and I'm like, oh my God, it's Stevie Wonder walking out on stage.
Right.
And he whips out his harmonica. We do a whole 5-minute thing together. It was surreal.
I hear you.
So but I've been in the studio with him here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I would love to do something with him, but it's just like pinning that down.
Right.
That's another almost impossible thing,
Right.
He just happens to he'll just show up at like 4 a.m. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm here. You get to be ready. That's the way he rolls because he doesn't evidently he doesn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's what people say.
Okay. So now
he just sleeps randomly.
Right. So now that your tour is over, what do you have planned for the holidays, and when's the next tour coming up?
So right now, continuing to stream. I actually stream 3 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Monday and Wednesday are part of the Hang Club.
Right.
If you want to, like I say, I call it, do you want to hang out more? Well, join the Hang Club.
Right.
So there's that. And then I'm trying to finish part 3 of the trilogy. Part 2 is obviously done, waiting. It's in manufacturing now, coming out soon. And then part 3, I'm actually tracking piano currently. And right after this, I'm going back in the studio. So
okay.
That's my holidays. And then, definitely take some downtime. You need that.
You. Right. Get the creative juices flowing again, right?
Yes. Don't want to burn out.
Right.
Can't do that.
Right. Hey, Brian, I appreciate you stepping in to Easy in the Afternoon, and I appreciate your time, man. I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot of things going, so I don't want to keep you any longer, but I appreciate your time. Anytime you're in St. Louis, and we got a common friend, James Ross from J. Ross TV. Yeah. If you ever in St. Louis, let's the 3 of us get together, chop it up, buy you dinner.
Oh, wow. There you go.
For sure. I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, man. And like I said, after the holidays, I'll be releasing Blue, and then which is part 3, and then I head on the Smooth Jazz Cruise for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then back on some East Coast and all over the place next year. So it's going to be a fun year.
And let me say, if to the listening audience, if you have not joined the Hang, you don't know what you're missing. You need to get out there and join it for sure. Brian, thank you, sir.
I will say you can watch all past 100 episodes on my YouTube channel if you're ever bored one night.
There it is. There it is. You heard it right here.
Nice.
Hey, Brian,
nice.
I appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one. I appreciate you.
You got it. All right, cheers.